Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
And by airs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at airs.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Cross Culture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
This is Ed Cohen in San Diego, California, and you're on Global TV Talk Show. This is a business unit of globalbusinessnews.net. Go check it out. I think you'll like what you see there. Our special guest today is Angela Rooney, and she's coming to us live today on June 21 in the year 2021. So it's 21 June 21. That's pretty good numbers. In fact, it's a winner. Angela Rooney and I have known each other a number of years, and she has spoken at some of our live meetings, and she's been on our radio show a long time ago, and here she is on TV. And so thank you, Angela Rooney. Welcome.
Thank you, Ed. Thanks a lot. Lovely to be here again in our virtual world.
I know. Just reach out and shake hands again, right?
Yes, so, let's do that. Have a
hug. Yeah, hugs are great too. So you're with Cigna now, and your specialty is, of course, employee wellness, but not really companies. It's sort of NGOs, non-government organizations. And what does that really mean? And give us an example. I guess the World Bank is an NGO, but also, what is an IGO?
Yeah, so the difference between an NGO and an IGO, so an NGO is like a charity or a mission, and they're funded by private entities or, also a part of the government as well. But the IGOs then are much larger, and they are totally funded by the government. So, and they have no immunity. So basically, from an insurance point of view, when you talk about compliance, an IGO has freedom worldwide. So you don't have to think about licensing when you're offering them insurance. And they really are extremely large as well. Whereas NGOs, you can have just a very small SME, small NGO.
Okay, so once again, an example of an IGO, it's not the World Bank. That's an NGO. Is that right?
No, they're actually an IGO. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
IGO. Yeah. So the UN, United Nations, that's an IGO. UNICEF is an IGO. An NGO would be World Vision, Save the Children, Doctors Without Borders, Amnesty. So they're kind of the big names out there.
Okay, I get it. Okay. And so are their needs different? I guess it's like an employee benefit. It's probably the same, right?
It's if you talk about the corporate world and the multinational, the NGOs and IGOs have very different needs, Ed. And it's really centered around what they do, so let's not forget where they are and what they do. I mean, they're really in the war zones, they're supporting the minority communities, the underprivileged communities. So they're out in the field. They're also subject to a lot of, well, not a lot, but a higher degree of kidnap and ransom as well, if you think about where they are located. And they're not necessarily working from their offices, whereas traditionally before the pandemic, of course, we were all in our offices and if you're working for a multinational, you would be working possibly in a big office in a large city. The NGOs are in their campsites in the field, so their needs are very different.
Yeah. So as part of that, is there some kind of an evacuation or like the vaccine thing? How do you get involved in that?
With the evacuation, Ed, is that what you mean?
Yeah, evacuation or like a medical emergency or terrorist threat or getting the vaccines distributed.
Yeah, not easy. So when we look at an evacuation, getting someone out of a difficult region, it can be very complex depending on what the region, where the region is. If it's North Korea, for example, you are relying on the political state at that time and day. Let's just put it that way. If you're also looking at, say, South Sudan or Sudan, getting someone out of that region in the midst of a COVID-19 situation, you're also looking at very difficult situations. I mean, where do you bring that person? How do you, I mean, sometimes the runways are closed, so you need to have good connections and good, I suppose, relationships with the local providers to get people out of those situations into a safe environment. In terms of vaccinations, yeah, Cigna can't influence that too much, to be honest. It really is very much a political and governmental regional situation. I mean, we do our best in advice, don't get me wrong, but actual delivery, that's something we can't influence too much.
So what about a situation, this is just off the wall now, but in Central Africa, there's flare-ups going on right now, and then the recent mess over in Gaza. Are those part of what Cigna gets involved with?
Our insured members they're global, Ed. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And certainly, I mean, I think that's probably the most difficult situation for an NGO is, you can have a very good wellness strategy and you may be following that day by day. And then something happens like you just mentioned in the Gaza Strip. So their full focus then is focused on the mission and that emergency that they have to go out to, or they need to be there, or they need to concentrate and jump from the well-being strategy straight into the emergency strategy. I think that's probably the difficult part of the NGOs and how they manage situations. In terms of how we help, I mean, we have our employee assistance programs, we have local medical people in different parts of the world. So the proximity to offer that local and cultural support is number one for Cigna and our insured members. But if we think about the world of NGO and the pandemic, for example, we are seeing a shift in culture, if I can say that. So previously, within the world of NGOs and that sector, the organizations were often tagged as doing more for the people they serve in the field as for their own employees, because they're so driven by their mission. Whereas now with the pandemic, they had more time to think about their own strategy and their own wellness and their own needs for their employees, which is a good thing. And we've created a lot of learning platforms for the not-for-profits as well. So how can the not-for-profits learn from us and how can we learn from them?
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a timely announcement.
Hi, I'm Sergei Gorbatov.
I'm Angela Lane.
Together we are researchers, writers and practitioners in the field of human resources.
And we've also been multi-country, multi-assignment career expats.
We owe our professional development and growth to a very large extent to the international assignment opportunities that we have had.
But in a world where distributed work may become the norm, we also want to understand what will happen to the nature, duration, and purpose of international assignments.
Together with our colleague, Julian Dalzell from the University of South Carolina, we're undertaking a study on the future of expatriation.
And we'd value your contribution. You can participate in this important study by completing a simple 10-minute questionnaire.
Access the questionnaire by typing in your browser tinyurl.com/expert study. That's tinyurl.com/expert study. You can also find the link here on Ed's website next to this video.
Thank you for joining us in this study. In return for your contribution, we'll provide you with a copy of our research.
And of course, you'll be invited to an exclusive webinar hosted by Ed, where we will share our findings right here on Global Business News.
And so please go to tinyurl.com/expat study. Take the survey so that we can better understand the future of expatriation.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
So what's the difference between the not-for-profits and internal in Cigna?
How do you mean that? How we look after our own staff?
Yeah, how is wellness managed internally?
At Cigna,
So, like for instance, is that like a testing ground for taking the service that's internal? And is it for a new service or something? And then, before it goes out to the marketplace?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, that's really interesting. I was involved in one of those projects actually. So yeah, interesting that you said that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's no point in Cigna, we are a service company, so we need to be there to service our customers. And there's no point in, if you don't believe in the service and you don't believe in the product, I mean, you need to be able to believe in that. So therefore, an employee assistance program, for example, it's also there for us as employees. So we have that 24/7, and virtual counseling as well is also there for Cigna staff. So therefore, if you're using the tools that we also offer our insured members and you believe that it works, then you're actually on a different playing ground when you're speaking to our customers. And
Yeah,
also,
good. Thank you. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just looking at this beautiful picture here in Switzerland, and yeah, yeah,
very nice.
yeah. So I don't know where that is in Switzerland, but it certainly looks high up somewhere. Um, so what is new in terms of mental health in the workplace?
Mental health.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, this has become, so at Cigna, we've been talking about a concept called whole health, whole health.
Oh, hell.
Not just the mind and the body, which is very important as well in terms of mental health. But if you think about all of your surroundings, and so what triggers an illness or what triggers a situation where you're feeling insecure, so your mental health, it's everything around you. It's your family, it's your financial health as well. It's the external environment, so we're looking at that as a concept now. So you don't just think about, if I get sick, I'm seeking treatment from Cigna. We're trying to avoid that situation and look at the entire concept. So it's basically putting the care back into health. That's really what we're saying. It's not just about, you are the owner of your health actually as an individual, and Cigna and other insurance companies can do so much, but we're trying to educate people to take care of themselves in a different format actually. So it's quite broad. And we talked about this before the pandemic, actually. This is not a new concept for Cigna, but the pandemic has sort of triggered a more in-depth conversation with our customers and clients.
So whole health is a concerted healthcare approach, making sure people are not just healthy, but working on getting better anyway. For instance, don't sit at the desk too long, stand up, or go walk to the water cooler, or just go out climbing one of those mountains behind BERN, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that we're also looking at how we at Cigna as well, have really sort of started our culture. So what is our culture and how are we, it's basically saying talk the talk, if you are implementing a concept that's globally acceptable, but it depends on each culture. This is not something that's the same, one size fits all. It's very different for different cultures. So we're actually co-creating this with our clients as well, and their culture and their needs and what's important for them. But at Cigna as well, it's the same situation. I mean, we're going into possibly a hybrid situation of when it's never going to be what it was, Ed, never.
Right.
Yeah, we will have people working the way they want to work and the way that helps them stay healthy. So there's nobody being asked to go back to the office, nor will that ever happen like it was a year ago. It's how people want to work, and it's about the results. It's not about when and where. It doesn't matter where you are and when you do something. It's do you deliver the results, and that's what we're trying to get to. So real flexibility.
So that's so human.
Yeah.
I mean, so, and a no-brainer actually.
Yeah.
What took so long?
Yeah. But it's about trust, Ed. It's about trust. You've got to trust people. We're in this virtual world now. We have to trust people that they will do the job. And we have what we call emergency time off. So if somebody needs that time for whatever that may be, it could be a child that's not feeling well. It could be a dependent that's, going through a difficult situation. Then they apply for emergency time off. And once people have that flexibility and they know they can control it themselves, I think you're going to see a lot more people be more productive and more willing, to go that extra mile as well.
So for instance, if you had just as an example, if you had something come up in your personal life and you had an appointment with me set up for a certain time, and oops, you're not going to be there for whatever the reason, would you, is it the company policy to get a second stringer to take over for you and talk with me, or just blow it off for another time?
No, that's really interesting you bring that up, because we have mentors and buddies, and we set up what's called Cafe Hope, and that's where we meet as colleagues on a regular basis, and we have a person that's kind of your buddy. So they're also they're giving you that energy, that encouragement, and it's a trusted buddy you have. So that person would have stepped in for me.
Oh, good. That's really good. I didn't know that you wanted me to talk about that. So, yeah, that's a good feeling. So
well, I'm glad you made it, Ed.
This is so nice to have you on the show. So let's talk about technology and digital. Um, getting information and where you want it, when you want it, and in English, assuming that's English, or a simple language, I should say, any language, but simple rather than legalese. Is that happening?
Yeah, I mean, we're going very much down the digital innovation road, and I mean, without a doubt, it's the future. But it has to still have that human touch to it as well. I mean, it needs to have, how do you give access to care within the world of digital and virtual? How do you give access to care? So we do Skype coaching, we go tele-coaching, and that's for everybody. That's for Cigna staff and for our clients and customers as well. And we're also testing some apps that actually, we're testing them right now. So I'm testing it myself. So it actually, it monitors how you're feeling all day, and then you get a complete report. It's a little watch you wear, and it's recording everything. And we actually did this with our staff, and we discovered that the two staff had conditions that they were not being detected with your traditional checkups. And this was quite interesting for us as well. And this will be technology that we will start rolling out as well at some stage in the future.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So people are trusting that it's not an invasion of privacy. It's a helpful thing.
Yes.
So there's no stigma attached if, God forbid, there's a heart condition or an ulcer discovered.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing is, Ed, but you need to have as well a follow-up strategy. I mean, if you discover something, you need to have a case manager, you need to have your doctors on board. Everyone needs to be there to make sure that, okay, when you discover something, there is a plan afterwards, and, that you really take that care to the end of what you've promised people to do. And we also will be rolling out a whole health wellness tool where this is completely different now. This is basically for organizations that they will complete certain data, and then a report will pop up and that report will sort of identify certain gaps in their wellness strategy, and then they'll have a wellness coach that they will connect with at Cigna to guide them and their organization towards a better future in terms of their wellness strategy. So we're virtual, but we're still moving ahead.
Yeah. So behind you on your right shoulder on the wall, there's some kind of an artwork, and it's interesting, but I can't understand what it's saying.
No, Ed, I don't think that would be a difficult one. It's actually Swiss German, and it's a clock, and it says, shall I tell you what it says? It says 20 ab 6, which is 20 past 6. That's Swiss German.
So is Swiss German common around BERN?
Yeah. I'm in the German part. And Swiss German, of course, is different than High German. It's a very different language. Yeah.
High German is spoken over the border, or?
Yeah, in Germany. Yeah, in Germany. Yeah, and then the Austrian German is also different. It's really a really strong accent, and in Switzerland there's different cantons. It's different German, different Swiss German.
Right. I know Geneva is French. Yeah.
That's right.
And Vevey also sort of a
Yeah,
mixture. Yeah.
yeah.
So let's talk about you. And um, so you've been on a rocket ride the past few years, and happy to see you healthy and happy, and involved in this senior position. So, is it difficult for you to get to see these executives of these large organizations?
Yeah, and so I think the funny thing is, or not the unusual thing is that we're all in the same boat. Whereas before, you know, probably wouldn't have connected as much. And we've actually been creating a lot of learning platforms for the not-for-profits, whereby we've partnered with them and we've been sharing best practice what we do. So can we help them with our HR strategies? Will that help them? Our wellness strategies and so on. So we've actually been really connecting. It's unusual, but I think people were keen to hear from the external world. If you think you're sitting in your home office, you just want to be, you want other people, you want to see other faces. So we've been doing a lot with our partners, with Bond, with the CHS Alliance, Interaction, Momentum. Yeah, I think they were the main organizations. And we're doing a further change recognition program. Now that you do ask, I'll just shout it out there. It's for the NGOs. We would have, and it was planned to be in Washington, D.C. in November, but we won't be face to face. It'll be virtual. But it's a program where we've been looking at safeguarding within the NGO world. So, there's been a lot of unfortunate things happening within the NGO world, and we've been looking at safeguarding. And this event, which is a change recognition program, is allowing NGOs to speak about their change, and we will pick out three. There will be a panel of judges, and then there will be a sort of an award as such. But it's a change recognition program for the not-for-profit world.
So very interesting, and I just want to take a second and announce that this coming Friday, June 25, we're launching a monthly series, one a month, called "Becoming a Global Voice for Change."
Oh wow!
So this is like a new thing. It's not a do-gooder thing, but maybe it is. But the idea is to bring people together from across time zones and borders and cultures, from across industries or organizations, not just companies, to give examples about what's going on in their own world. There's a lot of talk about sustainability, and then this ESG. It sounds like it's up in the clouds somewhere, or what does it really mean, and is it a political statement or is it some kind of action taken?
Yeah.
We all would like to drive a Tesla, but I'm personally going to wait until the batteries are stronger so I don't run out of energy. I have that problem at 3 o'clock every day, but I can't imagine that saying, "Oh my God, my car is running out and I'm on the San Diego freeway now." And well, then what do I do? Call the car service and have them tow me to a plug? So, so what is a global voice for change in your world?
A global voice for change. Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's like being the thought leader, listening to our clients, listening to our prospect clients, and looking at their needs and understanding their needs, and then working with them to find solutions. I mean, that's what we do. That's what we do. And we do all these learning platforms, and we're really listening. We're writing a lot of white papers for the NGO world as well. And that's just so important. I mean, there's just no point Cigna as a big organization, thinking they know what the community needs, the NGO world. We need to really go deep and understand everything and what triggers the issues and get identify those triggers and correct them and find solutions. So that's what it is for us.
Well, I welcome you to join the conversation. There'll be several people on this global telecon, and it starts at 6 p.m. Central European time, my 9 a.m., and 12 o'clock in New York. So I'll send you the link, and if you can join, you're certainly welcome. Everybody gets introduced and can join the conversation. Okay, so once again, let's just summarize. An IGO is an intercontinental government organization?
Intergovernmental.
Intergovernmental.
Government.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
government is important there.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the United Nations or World Bank is like that. All right.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so it's huge. And then the Red Cross or Red Crescent, that's not an IGO.
Yeah, now you picked a kind of one that sort of sits in between.
Okay. I'm not trying to get you on this. I'm just trying to understand it.
Yeah, but Amnesty International, for example, Save the Children, they are NGOs, not-for-profit organizations. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So thank you, Angela Rooney, for being on Global TV. I welcome you back, certainly for the Global Voices for Change on Friday, but if not then another time. And I very much are looking forward to helping you get the message out about the kind of work that Cigna is doing. It sounds great and really beneficial for a lot of people.
Thank you very much, Ed. And
Yeah.
lovely to see you again for so many years. It's just like so nice.
I know that's hug. Wait.
Yeah, we hug again.
Okay. Okay, ciao.
Thanks, Ed. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.